since after COVID, emphasizing and spending higher and higher amounts in capital expenditure partly answers the questions which was raised by Jairam Ramesh later. I have 4 issues, you answer on them. One of this, he probably implicitly agreed that this is one engine which is anyway happening. But that engine is happening in full throttle. And as a result of which, it has a bearing on the private investment, on consumption, and in a way also helps in pumping exports. So this one big engine consistently between 2020 and today, increasing more and more amounts, actual growth between one year and the other is also on a higher graph. So it is important that we've recognized that in an economy which is COVID affected, and that in an economy which requires to stand on its own considering the global challenges which are mounting each year. Since after COVID, you had one war, then a second war, and both the wars have not abated. Then you have a problem in the Red Sea. Then you also have a problem of the global currency markets, and also the Japanese carry trade business, which has affected the trust in the global markets and so on. All of this are growing in the number of challenges that India has to face. We can always say global challenge and leave it at that. But each one of the challenge has an impact on India, and despite that, since after COVID, with this emphasis given on capital expenditure, whose multiplier effect, whose traction is so much in the economy, which is an established theory that you spend on capital and you reap the benefit of sustained growth, whereas if you spend on revenue, you don't get that kind of a return. That is what is the multiplier effect, and that multiplier effect has sustained India as a fastest growing economy continuously since after COVID. And we shall be the fastest growing economy even this year, and that's not just me saying, global observers have said. So this route that Prime Minister Modi has clearly identified has one of the very tested, fine route for countries like India is standing by us in not only meeting domestic challenge of reviving the economy after COVID, but meeting the global increasing number of challenges. So I want to clearly place emphasis on this, and in that we are not doing it all on our own. We are making states also take up capital expenditure by giving them interest-free 50-year loans, which eventually will be treated probably as grants only. So states are now being able to strengthen their capital expenditure, and many states are completing long-pending projects or taking up newer projects, as a result of which economy around it is getting enough traction. So I want to, while saying that, I also want to clearly put on record that the total resources proposed for transfer to states in 24-25 is estimated to be 22.91 lakh crores. It entails an increase of about 2.49 lakh crores over 23-24. So there is an increase between last year and this year, and this is the range at which we are devolving resources to the states. Similarly, outlays for all union territories have increased from 61,118 crore last year to 68,660 crore this year. This is for all the UTs for this year. So I've also announced a slew of measures aimed at adding employment, because employment intensity to India's growth story is a very critical component, and through renewed impetus being given to manufacturing sector. I had detailed the various steps that we had taken for supporting manufacturing sector, but very clearly the manufacturing sector and its contribution, which I'll explain in a minute more, proves that these policies that we've taken up to support manufacturing is actually paying good rewards. So
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.